I was gonna film make my Monster High video, but honestly, this is gonna be so actually pissed that I'm gonna make it. I'm putting that on the back burner. Good job, you delayed my Monster High video. What have you done? I'm just gonna say this isn't a full analysis. I won't be going over everything, but I'm also gonna be using they pronouns for the infamous Jax toy. I've been seeing people say that Jax is the worst trans character, and I just want to say something about it. No, they're not. But Jax is a horrible person. Yeah, Jax is horrible, that's kind of the point. I'm sorry to say, but a lot of characters we see are made by cis people. I'll just use Bridget. Bridget is like barely seen struggling, comes out to two people she doesn't even know that well. I don't even hate this, I think it's fine to portray being trans as a completely normal thing within the universe. But that's not reality. In the real world, it's something many people have to hide and be ridiculed for. A lot of people with gender dysphoria might die and might never even transition, which is really unfortunate. Jax acting out because of the nightmare scenario, their abuse and the gender dysphoria, it makes some sense. And why are you defending an abuser? I'm gonna hate you. This isn't a defense for Jax's actions. I think understanding a villain's reasons for being bad, I don't think that's a defense of them. If you do think that's a defense, I think you should go back to when they were kind of all bad for no reason. A lot of people have been angry that they're misogynistic. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I'm sorry to be so angry at this video, but this makes like perfect sense. Jax is literally trying to double down and assure themselves that they're more of a man by trying to distance himself from women more. They jailed their friend to suicide. That's because Jax does not do good action. They're not a very good person, and because they can't confront themselves and they're repressing and taking it out on others. This happens in real life, not only about like dysphoria, but in other things too. Why did they dream about sexually harassing Gangle? This is one of the worst acts in themselves, and they try to double down on their masculinity and transphobia as a way to separate themselves from women and trans people. This isn't to say that this is like a good thing. This is pretty bad. I don't like this, but it's not like this is something they actually did, and it's probably not something that they'd even like think that hard about doing, because this is like a manifestation of like a certain aspect of themselves. It's pretty bad though. I really don't know if they should put that in. I don't know if Gooseworks should have put that into the story. I get what she was going for, but I think it could have just been handled a little bit better to kind of avoid falling into some stereotypes. But I think Jax is a pretty realistic trans character. Not like completely, but a huge part of that is that they're written and based on a trans woman. A lot of trans characters barely deal with dysphoria, deal with the watered down version of it, and just kind of get the transition to pass instantly. They're not really written by trans people, and cis people can't really grasp gender dysphoria in the same way trans people do. At least just not to the same extent. It's kind of a hard thing to grasp, really. It's hard to explain, hard to understand, so yeah. Jax isn't like a person you should strive to be. I'm not saying that. They're cautionary tale of what could happen if you keep running away from your problems. I have no idea why people are complaining about Jax and saying that they're the worst trans character. Your stories aren't something you should feel you need to water down just to make other people happy, really. I don't know Goose, but she says multiple times that Jax is based on her worst aspect. I can even relate a bit to Jax and understand where they're coming from. Does this mean I condone all their actions? No. That's not what I'm saying at all. Films are best when we can understand where they're coming from, and we've been praising that for years. But the second one is a trans girl who's suffering from heavy gender dysphoria and repression and a lot of other trauma and is not hacking wholesome industry plant. People, including other trans people, get mad. To be honest, I think it's just a bad idea to make every character not flawed and perfect, because people are flawed and perfect. Jax isn't an antagonist that's made fun of because of their gender dysphoria or seen like as delusional like some other queer antagonists. The struggles are shown to be quite serious. Their message to not be like Jax. Don't ignore yourself, don't build up multiple walls. If you do what Jax did, you might end up with a similar fate. I'm kind of putting this in off script, but I think also some people have been saying that like it kind of gives ammunition to people. But those people couldn't read a phonic. They really just could not read like a phonic book. They have like zero media comprehension and just try to use it to like further an agenda of hatred, and just really not something you have to deal with or should feel like you need to write around, because those people could find literally anything. We don't want those people controlling the stories that are told in media, because if they were doing it, we'd be watching like A New Hope for like the 90th time, but with like a different setting or something. I think a lot of people who watch this show could understand that the show's not endorsing the behaviors Jax does, and while it's quite sympathetic to him, Jax never really does get redeemed. So I think that's pretty understandable. People who've watched it. Justice for Ribbit, and that's really all I have for today. There's not much I want to say on that because I could talk about like the whole finale and like the whole Jax as a character, but that just kind of will take too long. I don't really feel like doing that. Don't harass other people, and feel free to disagree with me, but just say your comments kindly. I would appreciate that. And yeah, goodbye for now.